Hello, I'm Jennifer Katay. I'm the Executive Director here at Medical Mutts, and in this video we're going to show you how we select our program dogs.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I am the Director of Training at Medical Mutts. So when selecting service dogs, we are looking for dogs who are social, really love to be with people, confident, so they're comfortable going into new places around novel objects and noises, and friendly with other dogs. We don't want a dog who is reactive or barking at cars or dogs or people. We also don't want a dog who is showing a lot of fear or nervousness when in new places, because service dogs have to go a lot of places, and that's not a good life for a dog if it makes them uncomfortable.
We also look for dogs of certain breeds or breed mixes. Rarely do we find purebred dogs in rescues and shelters, but we look for certain breed types. A lot of dogs can become service dogs, but certain breeds have a higher percentage of dogs that can make it through. The other thing that's really important as a service dog is that they are friendly, naturally friendly, that they love to be around people, that they're comfortable around people. And even though we don't want the dogs to go seek out people and look for people's attention, we can teach a dog to focus on us and ignore the strangers that are passing by. But what's more difficult is if the dog has social anxieties and doesn't feel quite comfortable when we take them out in public and is leery of people approaching. That dog is going to have a hard time if we take them in public. And it's going to be more difficult for that dog to focus on our needs and be responsive to our cues, because that dog is going to be concerned about its own safety. So it's important that the dog is confident, social, easygoing, and can adapt to a variety of settings.
Food motivation is also a big factor because we train using their treats. So we want them to be able to be comfortable enough to eat in a new environment and to actually work for the food.
It's also best if the dogs look friendly. Now, looks may not be that important for most dogs, but in service dogs it does count. Because when we go out in public, if people are afraid of our dogs, they may give us a negative reaction. So when we're training dogs for other people, we want to make sure that we're not overburdening them. They already have to suffer from a disability. We want to make sure that we give them the best chance of having positive experiences with their dogs. And when the dog looks scary, you might have the store owners who are a little bit leery of the dog coming in and may give them a harder time. So looks do matter. Although service dogs are protected by federal laws, it's harder if you have a dog that has breed restrictions in place in certain states, because then you might have to battle with local authorities just to have the right to keep your dog. So we avoid certain breeds for that reason, because there's a stigma, but also because there are certain breed restrictions.
When I visit shelters, I walk through the kennels, and I'm looking for dogs who want to interact with me through the gate, who are coming up to the front of the kennel, taking treats, and just really wanting to interact with really comfortable, wiggly body language. At that point, I will take them out of the kennel into a play yard or a room, and I look and see how they're going to interact with me in a new environment. So are they more interested in sniffing around and exploring the environment, or do they want to be with me and interacting and getting attention from me? At that point, I start petting them, see how they do with handling. So petting their back, petting their tail, touching their feet, looking in their ears, looking in their mouth. And then I want to see how they do with a novel object. So I have a toy that makes a noise that I'll put down on the ground that kind of moves and talks, and I'll turn it on and see how they react to it. Are they nervous? Do they run away? What we want is a dog who is able to recover from something like that, who maybe explores it and moves on. Or if they try to play with it, that's good too. Then we will see how they interact with the other dogs that are in the area. So what do they do when they walk past dogs? They can't necessarily meet them in a shelter environment, but we want to make sure that they're not showing a lot of fear or reactivity towards the other dogs. And lastly, we test for resource guarding. So we want to make sure that they're okay with people being around their food. So we will put a bowl of some higher value treats like cheese or hot dogs down, and as they're eating, we'll pet them with like a fake hand and put the fake hand in the bowl and make sure they're not going to show any signs of aggression over the food. And if they do well with all that, then we will bring them back to the facility and continue seeing how they adjust to the environment here and start training.
So in short, what we're looking for in our dogs is dogs that are between 1 and 2 years old, looking friendly, are friendly with people and dogs, very confident, and love food, love to eat.